Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you into Van Taylor Stadium here at the Jeff May Complex across the street from Lander University, and we welcome you into this evening's rivalry matchup as the crosstown foes renew their annual rivalry. It is Lander and Erskine, the Bearcats and the Fleet, live on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. Rickson Lane along with you at Van Taylor Stadium. So glad to have you join us for tonight's matchup. The Lander women's soccer program looking for a 3-0 start here in 2017. They tangle with Erskine 0-1 on the year, coming off a loss to Lincoln Memorial, looking for their first victory of the 2017 campaign. Bearcats in the home white kits. Blue letters, blue numbers, blue trim at the bottom and the sleeves of those jerseys, blue trim on the shorts as well. Erskine, the road black uniforms, the white hoop about shoulder high, gold numbers outlined in maroon for the Erskine Flying Fleet. Going to give you the starters first for our visitors from Erskine. Flying Fleet led by head coach Warren Turner. Defensively tonight for the Flying Fleet, it'll be number 6, Heather Blosma, the redshirt senior from Sebring, Florida. She will anchor the back line tonight for Erskine, along with number 9, Robin Martin, a junior from Greenville, South Carolina. Number 12, Jillian Coves, also on the back line, a junior from Bluffton, South Carolina. Number 13, Sydney Eaker, freshman from Ringgold, Georgia. The keeper tonight for the Flying Fleet, Sarah Dooley, a sophomore from Pickens, South Carolina. She'll be between the pipes. Rounding out the defense tonight for Erskine is Maddie Clark, a freshman from Charleston. Midfielders for the Flying Fleet, Katie Cobble, a freshman from Salisbury, North Carolina, wearing number 4. Also Hayden Banks, a junior from Harum, Georgia, as we are underway at Van Taylor Stadium, and the Flying Fleet aggressive out of the gate. A deep kick on the kickoff, but out of bounds to the Bearcats. Also midfield tonight for the Flying Fleet of Erskine will be number 19, Devin Cabral, a freshman from Land O'Lakes, Florida. The other midfielder, Eliza Dinmee, the sophomore from Fort Mill, South Carolina. She wears number 28. The forwards for Erskine this evening, Kayla Kiefer, a senior out of Middleburg, Florida. She is the lone starting forward in the lineup tonight for Warren Turner. We are underway here in Greenwood. For the Lander Bearcats, Sarah Owen in goal tonight, the freshman from Lake Wales, Florida, starting her 3rd consecutive match of the year. She's got the ball at her feet and will dish it out left side. Back line for Lander, Kylie Eppel, freshman from Lake Mary, Florida. Emily Germstad, number 10, a sophomore out of Irmo, South Carolina. Number 15, Brenna McCarthy, freshman from Clifton, Virginia. Number 22, Kayla Walker, the senior in the group. She hails from Lexington, South Carolina. Midfield tonight for the Bearcats, Devin Doomey, a freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, off to a brilliant start in her Bearcat career. We'll discuss her as we go on throughout the broadcast this evening. Victoria Lang, junior out of Bedford, New York, with the ball at her feet. She sends the ball up ahead to Hannah Martin, Bearcat forward. That shot will nearly find the far post, but out of play. And it will be a corner kick for the Bearcats. It apparently grazed off the fingertips of Sarah Dooley. Early striking opportunity for Landers. We round out the Bearcat starting 11. Juliette Vidal is freshman from Lilly, France, in the midfield for the Bearcats, along with Carrie George, a senior from Tullahoma, Tennessee. The forwards tonight for Lander, number 12, Logan Lewis, senior from Lexington, and number 16, Hannah Martin, who fired that shot. She's out of Irmo, South Carolina. Ball headed away by Erskine, misplayed momentarily by Kiefer. And then McCarthy takes a tumble. She went for possession. McCarthy will curl that one left side of the box, headed forward and just off target, high and right. That header attempt, I believe, came from Lang, number 7. So early pair of attacks from the Bearcat offense. 2 shots here in the last minute and a half. Martin will send the one touch back to George. Beautiful pass up ahead as Lewis fights for possession, and a late whistle will be called against Logan Lewis. Got the shove there as she sent a Flying Fleet defender to the grass. This Lander team, I mentioned 2-0 on the season, coming off victories over North Greenville and the Newberry Wolves. The North Greenville match here at home. They went on the road to take on Newberry as Owens boots it out left side. Erskine flooding the Bearcat half of the field. 5 players deep in Bearcat territory as Lander tries to find a break. Nice run here by Germstad. Germstad going to send it up ahead, trying to get to the left corner as Lewis tries to track it down. Bearcats set up. And then a whistle and an offsides flag will go up against Logan Lewis. First offsides of the match against either side. Free kick for Erskine. Doomey fighting for the header. Instead, Lang got a piece of it, sends it ahead for the Bearcats. Now Doomey with the ball at her feet. Wanted to send it up ahead, but Lewis was cutting away, and Erskine will easily track that one down. Nineteenth meeting in program history between Lander and Erskine. The Flying Fleet looking for their second consecutive win in the series. They defeated the Bearcats last season 2-1 in overtime as Lander's looking at their second corner kick here in the early going. There'll be a free kick coming up, it appears, for take a throw in, pardon me, for the Bearcats. As Eppel works it in the middle, pass intercepted away by Erskine. And now Lewis fighting to stay on side, they got her again. Another offsides infraction against Lewis, and it looks like this one came from the official in the center of the field as opposed to the referee on the near side here. I think that's part of Lewis's frustration. You saw her tap the brakes there to try to stay on side, but unable to succeed. Now it appears Walker's going to get a free kick. Not entirely sure what the circumstances were there to allow Lander to get possession back, but the Bearcats will have it as Walker will boot it to the left. Roll it over to Germstad. Germstad reverses field, now working to the middle. Pass inside the Lang, off her foot, intercepted back by Vidal. Vidal to Eppel. Flying Fleet with possession, 37-20 remaining, first period of action here. from Greenwood, South Carolina. Erskine from right down the road in Due West. These two crosstown rivals battling for the 19th time. Bearcats trying to earn their 11th win in the series. That ball intended for Martin, but tapped away by Eaker. Last year, a scoreless first half between these teams as Martin knocked off the ball left side of the box. Bearcats took a 1-0 lead over Erskine in the meeting last season in Due West. Brianna Taylor put Lander ahead in the 63rd minute. That was Taylor's 4th goal of the season. It was also Lander's 4th goal of the season. Taylor accounted for all the Bearcats scoring in the first 2 matches of the campaign. Erskine responded after falling behind in last year's contest. Kayla Kiefer, goal in the 81st minute. One of the veterans on this Erskine squad tied the match late, and then Mel Foster gave the Flying Fleet the victory a minute and 19 seconds into the first overtime. That was one of 3 overtime matches the Bearcats played last season. They also tied with Flagler in double overtime and dropped a heartbreaker to North Georgia in overtime as well. Throw into Walker. Ball taken by the Flying Fleet, lobbed up middle of the pitch. Doomey trying to win possession for Lander, does so as Lang skirts her way around a defender. Had a look there at George making a run down the near sideline, instead taps it back to Eppel. Nobody home, there's George, gave it the heel kick. Erskine possession. That one rocketed by Walker right into the midsection of Kiefer. So Walker will take it back and try to direct traffic here near side. Past the sideline, knocked out of play off the foot of Jillian Coves. Annie Miller-Wells, the senior from Seattle, Washington, about to check in for Erskine, and she stands across the way. Bearcats looking to go to 3-0 and avoid their first back-to-back losses to Erskine in 15 years. Last time Erskine won consecutive matches in this rivalry, 2001 and 2002. 12 minutes into the opening period, no score between the Bearcats and the Fleet. And we will have substitutions.
Substitution for Erskine coming in number 27, Annie Miller-Wells. Fans, Sportsbreak is serving beer and wine outside the ticket gate. Be sure to have your valid ID ready. We'd like to thank Sportsbreak, proud supporter of Bearcat Athletics.
So throw in. Martin fights for it, but instead it'll be Banks who comes out with possession for Erskine. So Miller Wells into the ball game now for the Fleet. One of 5 seniors on the roster. And Eppel goes between the wickets there of Kiefer. Now Eppel double teamed, jostled down the sideline, and then ball knocked out of bounds. It will belong to Erskine. Ball in the middle, Vidal, and let it pass back to Walker. Walker trying to create some space and does so. Aggressive challenge there from Miller Wells. Pass down the near sideline. Eppel got in the way of it, and it'll be sent back to Owen. Doomey wants to turn and does so. "15 minutes into this opening period between Lander and Erskine, no score. Match that worried would be played in a rainstorm, much like last week's men's match. The sun breaking through the clouds here in Greenwood. It has turned into a very nice evening for soccer here at Van Taylor Stadium. And a lot of new amenities here at the complex. The Bearcats introducing the Kids Zone, along with an eat and play event for all Bearcat students. And Sports Break, bringing beer and wine to Van Taylor Stadium. Lander looking to improve to 3-0 on the year after a pair of 1-goal victories. There's a nice pass inside, shot from Martin, saved off the post. Just enough done by Dooley to deflect that ball as it ricocheted off the left post and rolled away. Great attack from Martin. The Bearcats unable to capitalize as Flores will check in. She'll substitute for Logan Lewis at the forward position. Bearcats have not started a season 3-0 since 2013. That team started the year 9-0 en route to a 13-5 finish. One of 3 13-win campaigns for head coach Chris Ayer during his time at Lander. Coach Ayer honored before the match for securing his 100th victory at the helm of the Bearcat women's soccer program. He did so on opening night against North Greenville. Vidal in the middle will send it back. Now Walker. Left side McCarthy. There's a little mini run there and then pushes it to the far left. Knocked out of play. It will stay with the Bearcats. Lander knocking off North Greenville in that opener by a score of 1-0. It was Devin Doomey, the freshman, who delivered the game winner The 72nd minute lob shot over the keeper that ricocheted in off the left post. And then Saturday evening, the Bearcats had their backs against the wall on the road at Newberry, down 1-0 with 7 minutes remaining before a furious comeback as that one's scooped up by Dooley. Juliette Vidal, freshman from France, with her first career goal. That tied the score at 1 apiece. 6.5 minutes remaining. And then with 3 seconds left in regulation, it was Doomy again who netted the game winner to give the Bearcats their second victory in as many matches. Doomy's second game winner in her young Bearcat career. She's the only player in the Peach Belt Conference currently with 2 game-winning goals. As Martin's out in front of everybody. Pass a little too long, and Dooley will boot it out of bounds. Didn't want to take a chance on Martin being called onside, so she'll kick it out of play. Eppel will intercept that pass. Erskine will fight to regain possession. Now back it goes to Walker. Pass from Owen off target, taken away. This is Kiefer. Now an aggressive job there by Owen to come up in the box, fall on top of that ball. Lang will fire a shot wide left, diving effort from Dooley, but off the mark. Shot from number 8, Flores, as it missed wide. Side pass, nobody there for Lander. Martin going to be unable to track that one down. Throw in coming for the Bearcats. 23:50 to go here in the opening period of play. Erskine plays it into the middle. Pass a little strong. Walker comes up to intercept it. Now send it near side. It'll be controlled by the body of George. Eppel, one touch to the center. Off the mark. Now Walker try to win the foot race. And she'll shield it away from Miller Wells. And Eppel working it back and forth. They tried to get a run to George near sideline, but Erskine reads it well. Walker send it back to Owen. Miller Wells charging forward. Pass to Doomy. 4 shots thus far in the match for Lander, just 1 for Erskine. Four fouls thus far, 3 against the Bearcats. Now another run, but an offsides flag going against Lander. Aggressive attack from the Bearcats here is Flores, Martin, and George. Lewis as well before she came out. Routinely finding their way down the pitch, but unfortunately just a tad too aggressive. Erskine has drawn them into 3 offsides infractions. Martin sends it ahead to George, but Erskine will knock it away out of bounds as it was Eaker. Once again got a foot on it. Flores is pass trying to go back to Eppel. The ball off the mark. Martin had it for a moment. The Flying Fleet deny the Bearcat attack. Walker out to Doomey. Doomey up ahead, Martin. Can she win it? No. Sliding stop made by Dooley. Bearcats continue to press. No dice though thus far. Four matches on tap this evening in the Peach Belt Conference. Landers only got an opportunity to run, and they're going to send to Flores. Flores, one of the fastest on the team for Lander. Left side now curls back right. Into the box it goes. Off the mark. Martin going to fire. Corner just wide. Martin had a look at it after Erskine's defender was up in the air going for the header. Dooley was shaded to the right of the goal, and Martin had the corner open but could not roll it in. Bearcats and Flying Fleet scoreless. Down in Americus, Georgia. Georgia Southwestern tied up with Emmanuel, 0-0. West Georgia hosting the Nighthawks of North Georgia this evening. USC Aiken traveling to Tigerville to tangle with the Crusaders at 7 o'clock. Newberry and Francis Marion were scheduled to play in Florence this evening, but that match has been canceled due to the inclement weather that has been making its way across the state as another hurricane bears down on the eastern seaboard. Long pass ahead, Walker will shield Miller Wells away, and Owen corrals the ball. 18:20 to go, first period, no score. Lander and Erskine. And there's the first goal of the evening for the Bearcats as Lander on the board at 18:01. And the Bearcats fight through. Hannah Martin with the goal. First goal of the season for Martin. On the assist from Flores. Martin beating Dooley to the right side, and Lander strikes first, 1-0. 17:45 to go first period. Lander up 1-0 on the Flying Fleet. Anna Martin with her first goal of the young season. So for the first time this season, Lander has scored in the opening period as they lead 1-0 over the Flying Fleet of Erskine.
Substitutions for Erskine. Now coming in number 10, Emily Bray.
Emily Bray will check in for the Flying Fleet. The Cats trying to get their second. Taking left side, Flores pass in the middle. Deflection off target momentarily by Erskine. Walker skies for the header. Tries to control it and send it out left side. And just like that, Lander up 2-0 now. The Bearcats come to life here after a couple of early opportunities. Hannah Martin, her second of the evening, and the Bearcats have jumped out to a 2-0 advantage. Shot from the right side and banged it in off the bar. Emily Germstad with the assist, and Lander extends the lead 2-0. The Bearcats continue to put the pedal to the metal here. Lang looking to run. Got George far side. Instead, Flores cuts off the pass, looking for space. Double teamed and the ball tapped away. Corner kick coming up for the Bearcats here with under 15 minutes to go. It'll be Lang. Will take the corner and still send it back to Germstad. Germstad pass into the box. Finds the feet of Doomy. Doomy right side George. George gonna fire a corroded save made by Sarah Dooley. Another corner kick coming up for the Bearcats. 14 minutes to go in the opening period. So Lang again from the far corner. This one lobbed into the middle. Flores with the header right side, no good. And Erskine with possession, under 14 to go in the first.
So for Erskine now in number 3, Leah Sugar.
Epple fighting for possession there, was wrapped up by Devin Cabral. I'll call it against Epple. Just under 13 remaining in the first period. Bearcats lead at 2-0. Flores wanted to make a run, but denied by the defense. Now Walker trying to get it out of danger. Gets it back from Vidal. All deflected away. Flying Fleet looking to get on the board here in the final 12 minutes of the first period. Work some sort of momentum. Bearcats thus far maintaining control of this match. Losing it there. Scobble gets it. Now the Bearcats back in possession. Martin calling for it and sends it to George right side. George shoved away by Coves.
Substitutions for the Bearcats.
Bearcats will bring in a pair of subs. Orange Shuba and Antonella Monreal into the match. Shuba, sophomore from Alberta, Alabama. Monreal, a junior out of Miami, Florida, transfer from Barry University last season. Long pass rolling towards the corner. Doomy trying to save it for the Bearcats, but unable. Nine to 1, the shots in favor of the Bearcats. 3 corner kicks for Lander as well. Erskine looking to mount an offensive attack here. Tangled up and going to the ground twice now is Germstad. Ball finally out of bounds. It'll belong to Lander with under 10 minutes to go in the first period. Under 9 minutes to go, first period. Lander up by 2. That pass deflected, and into the stands it goes. Vidal in the middle. Send right side Flores trying to run it down. Flores back to Vidal. Vidal right side of the box looking for space. Shot on the way. Curled way left. Monreal was there, but it was over her head. Maddie Lamb into the match for Erskine out of Lexington, South Carolina. 257 in attendance this evening for the Bearcats. It ties for the 8th largest crowd in program history. A match in 2014 against St. Leo. The largest crowd ever to view a Bearcat women's soccer match here at Van Taylor Stadium was here for the 2011 Erskine contest. 350 fans in attendance for a Bearcat rout as Lander drubbed the Fleet 5-0. Deep pass ahead to Flores. Flores on the right side. The flag stays down. Flores will roll it left. Ricochet, no good. And Erskine will clear it out of danger, and it'll be a throw-in for Lander. The shot attempt, no good from Flores as it was blocked. Now throw in for the Bearcats. Walker on the line up on that one. Instead, pass to the middle, intercepted. 2-0 Bearcat lead with 6:09 to go, first period. Shuba got in the way of that pass as McCarthy turns to run it down. Now Monreal, far side, curl it in left. Flores, lofted high and wide left. Doomy with a nice header there. 5:15 to go in the period. Lander up by a pair. A relatively clean game as far as the fouls are concerned. Flores challenging Coves near side. Instead, Flores will now get it as she makes a run right sideline. Flores looking. Will curl it in. Monreal a little behind her. Doomy's there. Her shot attempt wide left. Bearcats are out shooting the Flying Fleet 13-1 here in the opening half as they lead at 2-0. Lander Club looking to move to 3-0. The victories in their home and road openers here in 2017. The win Saturday night at Newberry, the first time Lander had won a road opener since 2014 when they knocked off Erskine. George rolls that one over the end line. 3:50 remaining in the first period. 2-0 our score. Lander on top. The Erskine Flying Fleet in this rivalry contest. Maddie Cole, the freshman from Cape Coral, Florida. She'll check in for the Fleet. 3.5 minutes remaining. George soars for the kick. Vidal tried to clear it, but Monreal drew the foul for Lander. Walker looking to line it up. Lofts it left side. George, the header, saved by Dooley. The rebound and wide left. The header from George, saved by Dooley. The rebound shot off the mark. Minute 40 remaining. First period, 2-0 our score. Kylie Eppel, near side, pass up ahead to George. Minute and change to go in the half. Lander looking to extend its lead to 3. Entry pass knocked away. George will try it again. Overshoots the box. Now Germstad. Give to Eppel. Eppel lost control. And Erskine comes away with it. Seconds remaining in the period. Final 10 seconds of the half. Doomey will push it ahead. The pass to Flores knocked away. That'll do it for the first period. A pair of goals from Hannah Martin is the difference thus far. Lander leads 2-0 over the Erskine Flying Fleet. We'll step aside and be back with second half action when we return to Greenwood. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back at Van Taylor Stadium, Rickson Lane with you. 2-0 our score. Lander leading the Erskine Flying Fleet after a pair of first half goals from forward Hannah Martin. Bearcats take the late lead in the first half as Erskine has a bit of a hole to climb out of here. What has turned into a beautiful night here at Van Taylor Stadium. First half stats, Lander out shooting Erskine 15-1. 4 shots on goal for the Bearcats, 1 shot on goal for the Flying Fleet. Sarah Owen made 1 save for the Bearcats as now Erskine on a breakaway shot on the way over the head of Owen, and just like that, Erskine is on the board. That was Kayla Kiefer. Beats Owen over the top. And just like that, the lead is cut in half. Goal for number 8, Kayla Kiefer. The assist will come for number 4, Kate Cobble. That's a 2-1 Bearcat lead all of a sudden. Bearcats suddenly see their lead dwindle down to just a goal after it appeared that Lander was in control of this match as the first half concluded. Credit the Flying Fleet as they strike 59 seconds into the second period. Now can Lander find the answer? Push the lead back to 2 goals. Into the box. Vidal had it at the feet. Shot deflected away as Doomy attempted the shot. Second shot from Eppel, no good. Back-to-back blocked shots for Doomy and Eppel. Now a long chase on the far side. Goal to open the half from Kiefer on the assist from Cobble. Then it looked like Lander was going to have an answer, but consecutive shots from Devin Doomy and Kylie Eppel blocked. And now Dooley comes out to corral that long pass. Three and a half minutes elapsed here in the second period. Credit the Flying Fleet. They have not Had many opportunities to score, but took advantage of their first chance here in the second period. Dooley dive out and corral that ball in front of the racing Devin Doomey. 5 minutes into the period, 2-1, Bearcats on top. Doomey on the near side. Tap back to Vidal. Now Vidal will make her way through traffic up over midfield. Lewis send the pass ahead to Jordan Thomas. Thomas unable to run that one down. First action for the freshman out of Lexington, South Carolina. Now George on the run, shot wide right. Kerry George from the right side of the box, unable to find the back of the net. There's the first Lander attack. Bearcats trying to swing the momentum back to that blue and white bench. Leading 2-1, but Erskine took a little bit of the air out of the stadium with that early goal. Playing center of the pitch. Not a lot of help. As Vidal come to alleviate some of the pressure. Back it goes to McCarthy. McCarthy up ahead. Wanted to thread the needle there to Germstad. Instead, a lunging stop made by Cobble. Nice move there, but Vidal on the second header. And up ahead to Germstad, left side. Germstad with options. Gonna send it in. Off the target for Thomas. Could not connect with the cross. But George gets it back. Right side now. George going to fire with the left foot. Save made by Dooley. (2-1). Bearcats leading Erskine. Sarah Owen in goal for Lander, the freshman, Lake Wales, Florida. There's a shot off the post. The goal kick coming up with the Flying Fleet. Owen, thus far, 2 goals allowed against 10 saves. Bearcats have fired off 5 shots so far in this half. They are out shooting the Fleet 20-2. That's been a philosophy of this Lander team. They're going to pepper the net and hope for the best. Vidal, nifty move there. Got it over to Lang. Now Lang trying to back her way into possession. Back to Vidal. Freshman from Lille, France. Showing why Chris Ayer and the staff here at Lander are very excited about her future in the Bearcat uniform. McCarthy over to Doomy. Doomy going to send it to the left side. Germstad going to set it up again from the far corner. Into the box, aiming for Thomas, but headed away. Thomas on the run, right side. Thomas going to lob it. Dooley punches it away. And the Erskine defense will clear it out. That was Robin Martin sending it out of danger. Nice run there from Thomas. Erskine tries to mount the attack there. Cobble right side. McCarthy was there to defend. Clean tackle and ball out of play to Lander. Thomas to Lewis. Now inside Vidal's in the box. Vidal tries to push it ahead to Thomas, and Erskine will clear it once more. Yeah, throw in for Lander. 31:40 to go in regulation. Have a foul on Lander. Erskine will take a free kick from just in front of the midfield stripe. Pass headed away, looked like Lang got a piece of it. The Bearcats trying to mount an offensive here. So that all's passed to Lewis, intercepted, but all trying to steal it away. are 15 minutes into the second period. Lander holding a 1-goal advantage over Erskine. But all will check out. Lauren Schuba will come in. Mel Foster and Annie Miller-Wells, pair of seniors, into the match for the Fleet. George looking to run it down in the corner. Bearcats turning. Pass into the box from Eppel. Out of play. Throw in Lander. .57:50 remaining in the second period of play. The Bearcats lead by a goal. A nice defensive play there from Doomey. Now Doomey wants to turn defense into offense. Thomas calling for it and gets it on the right side. Lewis far left, Doomey down the middle. Thomas guarded very closely, and it will be a corner kick for Landers. Thomas wisely boots it off her defender's leg. And the Bearcats will have their 4th corner kick of the evening, their first of the second period. Pass lobbed inside, intended for McCarthy. And then an offsides call against George on the right side. Erskine looking for the equalizer here. 26 minutes and change remaining in the second period. Landers defense trying to hold the 1-goal advantage. The Fleet slowly move the ball down the field. Germstad with a nice interception on the header. Walker trying to find possession, battling with Miller-Wells. That's been a great contest all evening, and Walker wins that one. Two competitive players there, Miller-Wells and Walker. Cats take the throw in and send it deep. Lewis behind the defense, waiting for the cavalry, but Erskine knocks it away before she can send the cross in. Hannah Martin back into the game for Lander. Martin has been the star thus far for the Bearcats. 2 goals, so far in this one. Senior out of Irmo, South Carolina.
Substitution for the Bearcats coming in, number 8, Sarah Flores.
Sarah Flores checking in as well. A career high. 2 goals for Hannah Martin. A corner kick coming up for Lander once again. 24-20 to play. Lang will lob it in. McCarthy trying to fight for position. Doomey fire the shot wide right. And a goal kick coming up for Erskine. Apple's pass up ahead to Martin off of her foot. Long run for Flores. Flores has got speed into the box. Flores lob it high. And wide to the left. Actually, I think that was going to be a pass attempt. .21:45 remaining in this one. Lander up a goal as Shuba pushes it ahead. George right side. George coming set. The right foot, curves it left, inside. Martin's got an opportunity, skipped it in the right side, and a hat trick for Hannah Martin. Carrie George with the assist. How about Hannah Martin?
Goal scored by number 16, Hannah Martin. Assist for number 18.
She came into the evening, if I'm not mistaken, with 1 career goal. She's got 3 tonight. Hannah Martin having a memorable match indeed against the rival Erskine Flying Fleet. And the Bearcats lead it 3-1. Martin, the first Bearcat to record a hat trick since last year's season opener when Brianna Taylor did it. 3 goals in her first career match against Emmanuel. Senior to senior connection there, George to Martin. And Lander's got some breathing room. So Austin Coolman will check into the game, freshman out of Woodruff, South Carolina. .20 minutes remaining, Bearcats up by 2. Flores trying to make the tackle there, but Graham able to get it away and off to Lamb. Now Lamb ranging to the left. There 19 to go in this one. Lander, 3 goals from the senior Hannah Martin. And they lead it 3-1. Shuba there colliding with the official at midfield. And a whistle and a foul against Erskine's Hayden Banks as she trips up Lang. Walker over midfield, right side, long pass deflected away. Flores trying to maintain. Tap it over to George, but in the no man's land, and Erskine comes out with it. .17 minutes showing on the clock. It's the Bearcats who changed goalies at halftime. They brought in Hannah Cowan, the sophomore from Blythewood, South Carolina, her first action of the season. Cowan last season, 585 minutes in goal. She was Lander's most experienced returning keeper. Made 40 saves on the year, a .702 save percentage. Pass in the box, deflected away by Erskine. Lander trying to set it up in the same spot where George found Martin for their lone goal in this period. 15 minutes remaining. Bearcats trying to move to 3-0 for the first time in 4 years. Erskine trying to get something going. McCarthy on the run. Endures a stiff arm from Miller Wells and sends it back over midfield. Clock will stop at 14:16 remaining. So we've got an injured Flying Fleet member on the pitch. Hopefully just a cramp here. So can't quite make out a number. We'll step aside for a moment as the Erskine players tended to. Lander leading 3-1. 14 minutes and change remaining. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Katie Cobble, the shaken up Flying Fleet member, stretched out and will remain in action for Erskine. Good to see that. The freshman out of Salisbury, North Carolina. Lander led 2-0 at halftime. Erskine cut into the lead just 44 seconds into the second period. But a goal from Hannah Martin, her third of the evening in the 70th minute. It's giving the Bearcats a 2-goal advantage here. Dooley unable to control that one initially, but comes up with it on the second effort. Erskine will take possession. Flying Fleet starting to run out of time here with 12:50 remaining. Trio of subs into the match for Erskine. Under 12.5 minutes remaining. Pass up ahead. Martin again on the run. Well, she has given the Erskine defenders fits this evening. A hat trick for Hannah Martin. And she suddenly and swiftly claims the team lead in goals scored from freshman Devin Doomey, who netted a goal in each of the first 2 matches of the year. Bearcats, At home twice this week. Saturday night, 7 o'clock tilt with the Wingate Bulldogs. Non-conference match here at Van Taylor Stadium. Erskine trying to pick up their first win of the year. They dropped a 3-1 decision to Lincoln Memorial in their season opener. McCarthy, nice pass left side. It'll be Germstad. Lobs it high and over the net. 10:45 to go in this one. Bearcats up by a pair. $257 fans in attendance this evening at Van Taylor Stadium. 8th largest crowd in program history. Nice job there by Germstad to deny Anna Smith, sophomore from Beaufort, trying to run down the near side of the box. We'll have mass substitutions coming now for Erskine as I count 5 players across the way for the Flying Fleet. If you smell smoke coming through your computer screen, that's the flying fingers of our statistician Malik to my left. I have to bring you these subs. We appreciate all of our workers here on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Just over 8 minutes remaining in this one. The Bearcats lead it 3-1.
Subs for Erskine, coming in number 19, Devin Hinkle, number 4, Katie Baldwin, number 8, Taylor Kiefer, number 23, Molly Graham, and number 6, Heather Stokes.
High header there from Doomie. Sweeping in is Kiefer to save it. Her pass off the target. The Lander will give it right back. Pass up ahead to Antonella Monreal. Monreal will settle it to the right of the box, and she'll fire high over the post. It'll be a corner kick, as that kick was actually saved by Dooley, tipped over the net. Corner kick coming up for Lander. It'll be Kayla Walker to take the corner. Walker, high pass deep in the box. Monreal could not connect with the header. Flores put it back up in the air, but Monreal Saw it sail just over her head. Pass ahead for Erskine, and nobody there as Cowan will come out, clear it towards midfield. Shuba to Flores, now back to Doomey. 5:40 remaining in this one, and Doomey tackled from behind. And that's going to be a card on Katie Cobble. That's an unnecessary, reckless challenge from Cobble, sliding directly into the back of Doomey. Freshman from Cincinnati up and walking it off, laughing as she's guarded by Cobble, but it doesn't seem to be a friendly laugh. And Doomey a little irate that Cobble attacked the back of her legs that way, a ball she clearly wasn't going to get to. McCarthy has her pass headed away. Flores trying to track it down in the corner. It'll be a corner kick for Lander. It's our FAR official. We'll have substitutions for the Bearcats. Hannah Center, Marie Druno, and Jordan Thomas into the match for Lander. Under 5 to go in this one. Bearcats up 3-1. It looks like it'll be Flores down in the near corner to take it for Lander. Bearcats up by a pair. Under 5 to go in this one. Lander trying to move to 3-0 for the first time in 4 seasons. Ball ricochets outside the box. Shuba going to fire wide left side. Lauren Shuba with a missile, but it sailed just left. Cowan to clear that one away. 4 minutes to go. Bearcats lead at 3-1. Pass ahead, Monreal. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Monreal trying to save in the corner, but a goal kick coming up.
Substitution for Lander coming in, number 12, Logan Lewis.
Logan Lewis back into the match. She will take out Hannah Martin, and that's likely the last time we'll see Martin this evening, and what a night she has had. The senior from Irmo came in the match with 1 career goal. She has struck for 3 this evening, as Lander on the verge of moving to 3-0 on the season with a victory over their rivals from Due West. Flying Fleet entered the match looking for their first winning streak in the series since 2002. But Thomas called for offsides as that shot, I think, will be negated. Offsides against the Bearcats. 90 seconds remaining in this one. Lander up 3-1. Cowan will control that one. Final minute of play here in Greenwood, and the Bearcats are going to move to a 3-0 record, and they will turn their eyes to Saturday night, take on the Wingate Bulldogs. Thomas, left side, slows her gait, and now tries to make a cut. Ball taken away, and a tackle from Thomas. No card will be issued, it appears. The clock will dwindle down on this one. For the first time in 4 seasons, the Bearcats are going to be 3-0. They will look to run that record to 4-0 Saturday night against the Bulldogs of Wingate. A 3-1 victory in the rivalry match against Erskine. Lander tops the Flying Fleet. We'll step aside for a moment. When we come back, a conversation with our player of the match. 3 goals on the evening for Hannah Martin. She joins us next. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network.
My name is Kylie Apple, freshman defender, and you're watching Lander Women's Soccer.
Back at Van Taylor Stadium, Lander a 3-1 winner over the Emmanuel Flying Fleet. And the player responsible for all 3 goals tonight, our player of the match, Hannah Martin, the senior out of Irmo, South Carolina. Hannah, 1 career goal coming into the night. You put 3 on the board against the biggest rival. What was different for you this evening?
Well, I feel like I'm finally healthy off my 2nd ACL tear, but also we've just got a stronger, smarter, more tactical team that helped me. Hannah Martin, the star of the match for the Bearcats. 3-1 our final. Lander over Erskine. We'll be back in just a few minutes, roughly 22 from now. The men take the pitch. Lander and Erskine round 2 when we return. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network.